So, the topic of today is why most men fail on dating apps and why dating apps are considered a taboo and why most men despise dating apps. But, however, I am probably one of the few guys who agrees with the use of dating apps. I do see a lot of people, men specifically, discussing the issue of why they hate using dating apps. And I'm guessing it's because they have not the best of luck with them. And in this day and age, I believe you should utilize all options when it comes to dating women. If you're out and about and you come across women, then that's great. You might not need dating apps if you're a man of options as well. But, however, if you're someone busy and doesn't have the time to go out or doesn't frequently come across women to approach, and you don't have a strong social circle, then dating apps can be a useful option. Sometimes you might just have to go down the road of dating apps. But anyway, that being said, let's get into this topic. Now, first things first, I see a lot of guys complaining, as I just mentioned, that dating apps are a waste of time. But what a lot of men fail to understand is to do the work on dating apps and to stand out from all the competition, you need good quality professional pictures. You really have to present yourself well, almost like you're a model, to get these girls' attention. Additionally, showing your lifestyle is the most important thing. And I get it. It takes time and effort, which men don't really want to do because it's just, I guess men will probably think to themselves it's not really such a manly thing to do. But if you want to be in the race, you got to put in the work. Now let's talk about only taking good quality pictures, but looking good in them. So that's dressing well, making sure you have fitted clothes on. And to do that, you need to be going to the gym and be in great shape. Ideally below, let's say 14% body fat. Men should aim to get to at least a minimum of 15% body fat because that's the most important thing. You need to be looking good aesthetically. It's all good taking professional pictures, but if you don't look good aesthetically, then there's no point. You have to do this in order to stand out. Because guess what? On dating apps, there are 80% men versus 20% women. So yes, the odds do not work in men's favor, which is why the top 20% are getting all the women. This is also why all the women are chasing the top 20% of guys. They are the ones literally cleaning up because they took the time to work on things that will determine their success on dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble, and several others, just to mention a few. So dating apps really come down to standing out amongst the crowd because, yes, dating apps are oversaturated with men. But guess what? If you do all these things like taking good pictures, getting down to a low body fat percentage and showcasing a bit of your lifestyle, you're already ahead of 80% on the dating apps because most men are not willing to put in that effort. In real life, men most likely will tend to rely on their personality through social circles. However, in this day and age, things are getting quite stiff when it comes to the dating pool. Social outlets like clubs are becoming a dying scene, with more clubs shutting down. But like I said, a lot of men out there are not having much luck with the ladies. Men have to utilize every type of method they can. So fellas, you have to do the work to get into the game. So in the case of it being such a thing to hate on dating apps, I'm just here to say there is nothing wrong with dating apps. I know that back in the day, there was a taboo surrounding dating apps because they were commonly associated with middle-aged, lonely individuals seeking companionship. Additionally, people often viewed them as desperate. Even in today's day and age, there are still people who suggest that those who go on dating apps lack options with women or they are scared and don't know how to talk to women. However, people fail to understand is that you can expand your options to a wider pool of women and further increase your chances of finding what you're looking for. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and the numbers on dating apps are far greater than the number of women you would typically meet in real life. Also, it's important to mention that some people just don't have the time to go out and mingle. It takes time and resources to do so. I know this is how it was done back in the days. You had to go outside to meet people. Trust me, someone that dated before social media and someone that's dating during social media, I know the difference. And I've experienced both. And yes, don't get me wrong. There are women on there who are seeking validation, trying to build their Instagram followers, or even boosting their OnlyFans profile. Oh, and let's not forget that there are a lot of Tinder swindlers out there. I mean, we've all seen the documentary, but guess what? You can also find that in real life too. Even if you go to clubs, bars, or social gatherings, you will come across women who seek validation and are just there to waste your time. So there's no difference in where you meet them, because you're going to encounter women who will ghost you and flake you in both scenarios. The other day, I had a friend say to me, I'm scared to go on dating apps because what if I meet up with a potential woman and she happens to be a man? I laughed and said, but you can literally FaceTime or check her Instagram before you arrange to meet someone. And he literally replied, yeah, that's right. True. Never saw it that way. So I get it. People have their doubts about it, but contrary to popular belief, there are actually people on dating apps who are looking for genuine connections. You just have to filter out the time wasters just like you would in real life. You see, with more people working from home and going out less, along with the hesitation to cold approach in public because a lot of men out there don't want to be labeled as creeps. So dating apps are going to become more popular in the future, like it or not. Now, with that being said, let's talk about how to actually scale your options and become the top 1% of men on dating apps. Being seen by other women and boosting your chances. Well, it's simple, really, especially if you've done all the necessary work beforehand. As we talked about before, this includes working on your photos to ensure they are the highest qualities and getting down to a minimum of 15% body fat. And once all that is done, this is where men don't really want to, and that's pay for memberships and boosts. But unfortunately, dating apps are a business, so you have to pay to play. I mean, most men will spend fortunes on a night out, partying, paying to get into clubs, buying drinks, and all that to leave and go back home with nothing, not even a phone number to hand. So really and truly, what's a few bucks to be seen by hundreds and hundreds of women? Because there's only so much women you can bump into on your day-to-day life. Because remember, the algorithm is not in your favor, especially when men are the majority by a significant amount. Just remember this, even the top 10% of men still pay for boost. Now imagine that and let that marinate for a second. So what stops you from boosting your chances? Remember, the objective is to be seen. And by doing so, you're putting yourself ahead of the race amongst millions of men. So with all that being said and done, I leave you on that note. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and any thoughts, just please leave a comment. Salute.